Yo, let's get it, man. Yo, salute to everybody here in the building, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. Welcome to the latest installment of the Graphk and Wasted Show.
Or the Wasted and Graphk Show, whichever way you would like to slice it. What is the deal?
Man, some stuff to talk about today, man. Salute to everybody already here in the chat. Y'all know what time it is, man. Pay your bar tabs, man. Wipe them feet, meaning hit them thumbs up, and also hit that subscribe button, man. Wasted is on his way to 15K. I'm on my way to 25 right now. We need your guys' help. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. It's free. Don't cost you a thing, man. How you doing, big bro?
I'm feeling good, man. It feel good to be home today.
Yeah, man. Got a
Happy
day
holidays, everybody's President's Day. Happy holidays, everybody who's home.
Yeah, facts. I mean, look, man, daddy daycare today. I don't know if you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it at some point. My son's screaming in the background, playing video games, but, it is what it is, man. Had to talk some football today. We got to take advantage, man, when my brother's off. We got to do one of these Graphk and Wasted morning time shows.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Because we usually get wasted, wasted, what is it? BET Uncut, late night.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Where he's either very irritated or he does this.
Hey, man, I get irritated and then my battery dies. So it happens.
There you go. I'm just fucking with you, man. But yo, man, some stuff to talk about, man. Once again, man, salute to everybody here in the chat, man. We appreciate you guys for rocking with us. As always, we are going to talk about a new addition to our running back room, Cadillac Williams. We're going to talk about, it looks as though the number one candidate to come in to be our QB's coach. All the buzz surrounding this one name. It looks as though he has not officially been hired yet. You know what I'm saying? But it looks as though it's leaning that way. We're going to talk about that here shortly. And also, man, I have a question for the nation and for my brother Wasted Talent about our head coach. And then, we talked about, the Brandon Aiyuk situation, right? The Arizona State connection with AP, the Jaden Daniels connection to AP. Right now, man, there is a lot of talk in a lot of insiders within the NFL. And we can start here, you guys. About the Niners really potentially moving on from him, right? They're paying Debo a shit ton of money. Brock Purdy is going to have to get paid at some point in the near future. They're paying a lot of money to Kittle. They have a shit ton of other free agents on both sides of the football. Actually, defense side of the ball. They have, I think they have to pay their fullback at this point as well. And he's a big part of what they do on the offensive side of the football, man. But I was reading this, and this comes from all 49ers fan nation, right? And they cover the 49ers. But an interesting tidbit here, you guys. This comes from Dan Graziano from the ESPN network. We all know he's an insider, covers the NFL for the ESPN. This is what he had to say, and I want to get your take on this. The most likely way this shakes out is Aiyuk ends up getting traded to a team where he's the clear-cut number one wideout and where he can get the extension he wants, leaving the 49ers to draft his replacement in the first round. That's the cleanest way for them to address all of their needs. I see San Francisco extending Hufanga, great player for them, and coming to some sort of arrangement with Kyle, their fullback, Andre Greenlaw, that keeps them both around. That leaves the 49ers to run it back with the same basic core, some upgrades in key spots, and Aiyuk cheering them on from afar. Then the Niners, Fan Nation goes on to say, if the Niners trade Aiyuk, they'll regret it because his best years are ahead of him. All he needs is more opportunities, which it looks like his next team will be giving him. Okay. I've seen some interesting, trade scenarios with Brandon Aiyuk. I've seen, someone potentially saying trade a second this year and a second next year. I think that's a lot, man, because you're going to have to pay this guy north of $25 million a season.
Yeah.
We still have Devontae Adams under contract. We're paying him a lot of money at this point. You know what I'm saying? But how do you feel? Do you think this is a realistic thing? Because people tend to forget that we still have to somehow, some way, maybe package up a bunch of a bunch of draft picks in order to move up to go get this quarterback of the future that we keep talking about. And it looks as though AP wants Jaden Daniels. I know people seen him on the rush the other day, and it was kind of funny how he kind of alluded to, interesting. I don't know if you've seen that little tidbit, but they were talking about Jaden Daniels. It was like, yeah, he was in the building, week 18, and Blase. He was like, interesting. And it was kind of like he was alluding to, them trying to go get his guy. How do you feel about this, man? Is Aiyuk a realistic option at this point, or is he a need? We know we can move on from Hunter Renfrow. That frees up $13 million. I mean, how are you feeling right now about this? Because it looks as though even the Niners are starting, that their insiders are starting to kind of play into this as well as then potentially moving on.
I don't think it's realistic for the Raiders because his contract and the contract he's looking for is north of $25 million, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We already are paying, probably, a third of our salary to wide receivers at this point.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten rid of Hunter Renfrow, right? And then when you get rid of Hunter Renfrow, the savings that you're going to get from the Hunter Renfrow trade, you have to put them somewhere else, right? So I would rather allocate those resources to another part of the team, probably bring back Jacobs or get another running back. And then also when you talk about the draft compensation that it's going to take, we're going to need every single pick under the sun to go up and go get what we need to get Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be 100% real with you, man. Now, if the Raiders were in a situation where Brandon Aiyuk was the cherry on top, it'd be great.
Yes.
But the thing is, wide receivers are disposable. Now, the one reason why I could wrap my mind around bringing them in is the fact that Devontae Adams isn't getting any younger.
32 in December. I'm 25 years old right now.
Yeah, so Brandon Aiyuk is the kind of guy like where it will be the move that the Devontae Adams trade would have been had we gotten him 5 years ago.
Yeah.
This will be a guy where his best football will be played with the Raiders. Mm-hmm. And that's the only reason why I can see them even thinking about it, in his connection to Antonio Pierce and Arizona State and all of the coaches, and it being a nice reunion. That only works if you get Jaden Daniels as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the Raiders are going to do something else to make this more palatable. Are they willing to move on from a Jacoby Meyer and trade him as part of a package to move up to go get Jaden Daniels? Would they trade him back to the Patriots because the Patriots didn't pay him previously?
Yeah.
Would they do that? I mean, it's all these things. So I'm never going to say never, but do I think it's likely? I'm about like 70% saying that it's not likely. I see him going to the Bills or a team like that that's a little bit more wide receiver needy.
I could see 70, 80% that I'm leaning towards this not happening. But the thing is this, man, and this is what the question that I had. Salute to Cap, man, and salute to Hug, man, for always promoting what we do over here, man. Salute to the 10 new members in Wasted Nation Army and OLV, man. Salute to you guys. Appreciate you guys as always. I brought this up to say this, and I want the chat to chime in on this as well. Is Antonio Pierce right now changing the way the head coaching position looks in the NFL? Because what I mean by that, Max Crosby, superstar, goes out on a limb to say, you could potentially have to get rid of me if you don't bring my guy in, right? Now, Jaden Daniels, I don't know if you've seen his mom a while ago on Twitter hit like on Antonio Pierce and the package deal with them. The Jaden Daniels being there, week 18, Denver, locker room, blah, blah, blah. I believe there was like a poster put up on the strip with Jaden Daniels at some point, the love that he gave AP with his acceptance speech. Is he changing the way the head coaching position looks? Because he's making it look cool again. And a lot of these former players, I don't find it a coincidence that Brandon Aiyuk just randomly says, trade me. Well, he hasn't really said that openly, but his people are coming out. There's a reason that his girl, his brother, his best friend are coming out and speaking for him because he doesn't want to look like the bad guy. Yeah. But they're directing him to Las Vegas. His best friend said, BA to LV, right? And I don't find that to be a coincidence. I feel like these guys want to play for him. And at this point, it's kind of like the Michael Vick, Allen Iverson effect back in the day when they just made it cool again. Like Michael Vick made the quarterback position cool again. Allen Iverson like made it cool. I know these guys, are great players in their respective fields and, in their respective organizations. They never won the big one. Don't get me wrong. So I don't want to beat up Allen Iverson or Michael Vick because those are two of my favorite players ever. But what I mean by that is the swag that they brought to the game, right? The swag they brought to it. And AP is kind of really bringing that back as a head coach. And I think we're going to start seeing a lot of players start to steer towards the Raiders because of this. Now, we got to win in order to make this work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have to win in order to make this work. But right now, in his first offseason as a head coach, do you see the changing of guard? Like as back then, it was Bill Belichick. He's winning a bunch of championships, but it's militant. It's militant, right?
I don't see that. Like, bro, first of all, in the NFL is about results. All of this shit is cool right now, right? Let the Raiders go on a 3-game losing streak at the beginning of the season. Let's see how cool it'll be, right? And then second of all, cool is something that travels. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at like my father-in-law, 60-something-year-old man. He's still cool. You know what I'm saying? Dr. J is still cool. Yeah. Michael Jordan was cool. Michael Jordan with the gold chain, tongue hanging out, everything. That shit is subjective, bro. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to the NFL coaching ranks, they're trying to run this shit in the media like an NBA team. And the problem is that shit can turn back around and bite Antonio Pierce and the Raiders in the ass. Because a lot of the things that he's doing is borderline tampering. And I don't think that it's a sense of being cool. I think it's a fact of ignorance and them not knowing how these teams are vultures. Some of this shit is borderlining on the realm of tampering, bro.
No, it is. I mean, by the way, he kind of flirts with the idea of Jaden Daniels, and it definitely is.
It's a reason why coaches go about the business the way they go about it, because these teams are vultures and they will fuck around.
We will lose some draft capital because of this.
Lose a lot of draft capital, and you won't ever get a chance to draft him. And you won't ever get a chance to bring Brandon Aiyuk in. And that's the problem. I think Antonio Pierce needs to kind of
pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit with conducting his business in the media.
Okay.
Be real with you, bro.
Okay. But it's just we haven't seen this. You know what I mean? Like Antonio Pierce on these podcasts talking like one of the homies in a barbershop. Like you don't see this. Like this is like a first in a long time, and shit, probably a first ever that I've ever seen a head coach really shooting the shit and you know what I mean, and cussing on the podcast and I don't know if you guys seen
can't be yourself when they haven't hired a lot of black head coaches in the NFL. Well, we can't say that because it's starting to become a lot more, right? Yeah, but I think that this is the first like head coach that comes from hip hop culture that's allowed to be authentically himself. Yeah, and I think that's what's so different about it. You know what I mean? Like Mike Tomlin is the guy that you probably see Mike Tomlin be in front of the camera. It's definitely not the guy he is to the players. That's why they fuck him like that.
No. Yeah.
But he knows that he got to play a certain kind of role because he's in the Steeler fan base. You know what I'm saying? He was brought in. He's like the gold standard when it comes to the Rooney Rule. The Rooney family, the ones who came up with the Rooney Rule, and they followed suit and hired Mike Tomlin right then and there, and he's been there ever since. Yeah. And I think there's a big responsibility with some of these coaches. And you go back to the Tony Dungy's era. Tony Dungy and them guys, they had to prove that they belong. So they had to sit back and they kind of had to, kind of play a certain role, and they couldn't be. And Tony Dungy's a real homogenized guy. You know what I'm saying? But I think when Antonio Pierce, he is the first person to ever get a job like this the way he got it from an owner that's as open-minded. You're not going to see a whole lot of Antonio Pierce unless we are wildly successful. You're not going to see that, bro. Like even down there with the Texans, DeMeco Ryans is not out there talking his shit.
No,
he's coaching a team. He's very business-like and militant, the way that coaches are.
I wouldn't say militant, but he's doing it. It's a little less penitentiary style. Let me say that.
Yeah. Well, bro, like what I mean is that he is definitely speaking the Queen's English. He's down there and he's doing things the way head coaches do them. Yes. Now, is he more relatable to the players? But what I mean by militant is I'm talking about from a military perspective.
There's still a structure.
There's a protocol. Mm-hmm. We got a coach that's allowing the players to smoke cigars in the fucking locker room after the games.
Yeah,
I mean, bro,
I just watched my head coach, bro, go on Max Crosby's podcast and talk about Kush in the air in Oakland Coliseum.
Yeah.
Your head coach is right there, and y'all are laughing about Kush, being smoked. And everybody knows, anybody who's been to Oko, it always smelled like tree. Always. Newport's tree, cheap beer. That's what it was at Oko. But also even, and I like what the Raider just said. Tell you this, watching Crosby podcast, AP is way higher on Jacoby than Adams. So there's some things that we've heard, and we've never talked about it on live. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes, we've gotten a few tidbits that we don't want to throw into the universe because we don't want to speculate. We don't want to create any, diversion within our fan base. But Adams, right? You don't really hear AP talk a lot about Devontae. There's always that, that respect level there. But he did say that Jacoby is the most selfless, hardest working wide receiver. And then he laughed about, he said he put his job on the line by having Max Crosby go out there and play against the Kansas City Chiefs the first time, right? With that knee injury. Mm-hmm. Then he asked him, who would be the one guy that you wouldn't allow to date your daughter? Josh Jacobs immediately, because the whole
kids,
the whole kids and the dating stuff and all that other stuff. But I'm only saying this, and salute to the Raider on this, because he did mention Aiyuk as being his guy. And I feel as though he does have penciled around some of these guys that are his guys. I don't feel like Devontae's ever been that guy, like for him. And I know there's a lot that came out that's, the Raiders are not moving on from Devontae Adams. That trade with the Jets is just all talk, all speculation. In any way, shape, or form, do you see a potential trade with Devontae to go in and bring in a Brandon Aiyuk, a guy that's much younger, coming off of a year where he had 1,300 yards? He's only going to get better, all pro talent, and be the number one guy, because it looks like AP wants his guys. I just don't know how Tom Telesco can come in year one and part ways with so much draft capital to go get a Jaden Daniels and Aiyuk. Like, make that make sense. I don't know how it could happen. I mean, we've seen crazy shit happen, but I don't know how you can part ways with that much draft capital to bring in Brandon Aiyuk and a Jaden Daniels. I mean,
you answered the question the same way I was going to. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, bro, how could you possibly do that if you're the GM? How could you trade a Hall of Fame player? You come in the first year and you just trade a guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And just because this is the reason why I love the fact that AP is not the guy with the final cut, because that's some emotional shit. Now, when we really look at it, this is Devontae Adams we're talking about here. And I think a lot of people forget that a bad season for Devontae Adams was 1,000 yards and 100 catches.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, so.
But the thing is this, though, Wasted. Some people don't know about what goes on behind the scenes, and I'm not acting as though we're like just literally tapped into every single thing that's going on. But there was a lot of feedback that was given this season, by our All Pro guy, and there was some.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There are issues because, bro, listen, we all know that when you got a player like Devontae Adams who's on a Hall of Fame trajectory, right? And he's also a wide receiver. I haven't met the wide receiver without an ego. Yeah. I haven't met him. A lot of people try to always, T.O., Randy Moss. Jerry Rice had a big ego.
Yeah.
Tim Brown had an ego.
Definitely.
As they should.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking Marvin Harrison had an ego. They all do. It's just, it's basically how they let it play out in the media. You know what I'm saying? You're not privy to what goes on in that locker room. And I'm sure with a guy like an Antonio Pierce, as a defensive head coach, that is like, hey, man, look, we know you the Hall of Famer and everything, but, you came here. We don't hear you bitching about this and that.
Yeah.
Look, man, we won. It don't look the way it should look. And all, man, shut your ass up. We won. And I understand that. That's what defensive players normally do to offensive players. Let me get the fuck out of here. We won, bro. Yeah. We won. We busted them in the mouth. So what? We ain't score a bunch of touchdowns. Mm-hmm. I think there's an issue there. But that issue will be corrected if you get a little bit more consistent quarterback play.
No,
I do. He's such a great player, bro. I can't see them not getting along, bro. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, I agree. And mind you guys, I know he said some good things about Devontae. I'm not saying that he hasn't spoken about Devontae. Everybody can clearly see that Tay is one of the leaders in that locker room. He's one of the elder spokesmen. He's one of the greatest. He's going to be a surefire Hall of Famer, first ballot type guy. Like, this is not me saying that AP. It's just not – when AP has his guys, he has his guys. Max is one of his guys. Max stuck his neck out for AP. AP has done the same for him. like I said, with the Kansas City situation. He said that Josh Jacobs is the heart and soul of this team. You know what I mean? He jokes about him. He said Brandon Aiyuk was one of his guys that he went and discovered in high school and brought into Arizona State. Same with Jaden Daniels. It's just a trend here that a lot of these guys, there's some guys that are AP guys. And I've never really heard Devontae be one of AP's guys. Don't get it fucked up. Like AP knows that Devontae is one of the greatest players on that roster, and he's going to treat him as such. But there's just not a lot of talk about him being one of AP's guys. You know what I'm saying? And Tank,
you know what? It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be. No,
he's got to go out there and perform, and then AP's got to realize that at this point, bro, you know, we can't bring in everybody that you have a connection with.
Yeah.
You know, they brought in Jack. They're going to try to go get Jaden Daniels. Let's see how successful that is, right? But at the end of the day, like, that's the reason why I don't think head coaches should be GMs and head coaches.
Yeah.
Because if I'm being honest, if Antonio Pierce had his druthers, he'd move heaven and earth to get his guys.
Yeah.
Regardless of how much sense it makes, cap-wise, all that stuff. I can't see Tom Telesco trading and Devontae Adams. I can't see it. I cannot see it, bro. I can't see it unless they give him the world and it's tied into us getting a starting quarterback.
Okay, so
the only way I can see it.
So let me ask you, well, there's too much money on this contract anyway. If you try to move on, there's so much that goes into that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of money left on Devontae's contract, and we would have to eat. There's just a lot that goes into it. But let me ask you this. Can a Devontae Adams and a Brandon Aiyuk, if this did happen, could they coexist?
Yeah.
Because, you think so? Because Devontae's never, I can't say he's never, because in Green Bay, he's played with some great wide receivers. But back then, he was a lot younger. At this point, he's the clear-cut number one. Do you see them coexisting with? And at that point, what do? Do you move Jacoby back into the because Aiyuk can play all over the place. He can play on the outside. Could play same thing as Jacoby. To be real with you, man, Aiyuk is a younger, more athletic version of a Jacoby because he can block. You know what I mean? But he's also a great route runner, and he's also great with yards after the catch.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, what does that room look like? Is Aiyuk in the slot full time with Jacoby back on the perimeter?
Nah, I see Jacoby being in the slot, and I see Aiyuk being on the outside. And like the way the NFL is now, they throw the football so much. I mean, if you have the right quarterback, man, you can have two guys. Like look at what they got in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see T. Higgins really crying for the ball.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like they have two guys. Like Minnesota, they have two guys, right?
Actually, man, even Boyd. I mean, they had a three-headed monster.
Yeah. It could be done. Look at it in Seattle. I'm just talking about from the prism of having two guys where you have a hard time discerning who the number one receiver is.
Yeah.
I mean, in Minnesota, you know who the number one receiver is, and you know who the number one receiver is in Cincinnati. But the second guy is not that far off. He's not going to cry over spilled milk. The most important thing is, am I getting paid? As far as touches go, you can get these guys that touches, bro. I personally feel that way.
So let me ask you this. Do you think it's a realistic option, Brandon Aiyuk?
No, because of what it's going to take to get him. Like if Brandon Aiyuk is a free agent, yeah. The fact that you got to trade for him, no.
What does that cost? And GM waste his head. What does it cost to go get a Brandon Aiyuk?
It costs in the basement a 2 and probably another pick.
Yeah,
a 2 and a 3 or something like that. Like
only because it's only that inexpensive because he has to be paid.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And then now you got to pay him. So now you got to pay him probably in the basement $25 million. Mm-hmm. You're paying Devontae Adams crazy money. You're paying Jacoby a decent amount of money, right? You still got to get rid of the Hunter Renfrow contract, which is an albatross.
Yeah,
you know, there's a lot of things that come into play here. You got to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo's contract. You got to go out there and find a guy. You know, I don't know if I'm ready to just anoint Zamir White the starting running back.
Yeah.
So how are we going to go about that? Then you got to fill in all these holes on the offensive line.
A move like this is it really, you have to be getting a lot out of the guys on rookie deals. A lot. If you wanted to make one of these kind of moves, Michael Mayer has to take that next step. Trey Tucker, coming off a pretty good year, 2 touchdowns, over 300 yards, didn't really get a lot of reps, but he has to step up. Like a lot of these guys on the defensive side of the football, I put out a list the other day. Merrick's still on his rookie deal. Nate Hobbs is still on his rookie deal. A lot of these guys have to translate. And then the offensive line. Can Mumford be that guy at right tackle on a rookie deal? You know what I mean? Like some of these guys would have to translate that are on rookie deals in order to make this move. I think it is very, very far-fetched. And we said it before, but I'm just starting to see a lot more rumblings. And I'm starting to see guys that actually cover the Niners thinking that this is a realistic option now. You know what I mean? And even insiders, like I said, Dan Graziano from ESPN saying that he thinks that he's going to be out of here. But there is other teams that can use him. Like you said, a Buffalo, because Stephon Diggs is starting to show his age a little bit. He's not the same receiver he once was. Gabe Davis is going to be out of there. I can definitely see Buffalo saying, go get him. You know what I mean? And there's some other teams that need receivers desperately.
Yeah.
You know? So you never know.
I think Brandon Aiyuk is more of a cherry on top kind of a deal.
Yeah.
We're not there yet to make deals like this. It's kind of it's.
Well, we thought Devontae was the cherry on top.
Yeah, but that's because we had an incumbent starting quarterback that we thought was going to be here, beyond that year. We thought that what we were doing was we were giving Derek Carr what he needed to reach his full potential because he had been at the precipice of being like a superstar quarterback. Yeah. And what we said was when it happened, listen, I don't want to hear shit from any of you people saying he don't have a receiver because he got one. And then before that, to me, I think he had receivers. He had Crabtree and he had Coop and all
guys that had over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, so I never wanted to hear that. But what I'm saying, we're in a different spot now. We have a rookie quarterback that we're not really sold on, right? And then we're trying to go get another rookie quarterback. We're trying to build towards something. This is not that kind of a situation. The Brandon Aiyuk trade is a trade that a team like the Buffalo Bills, who's at the precipice of getting over the hump, makes. Yeah. Because that's the deal. That might be the deal that helped them get over Kansas City. Maybe Kansas City makes that trade.
And I seen that. But I also seen the Niners may not want to play ball with the Chiefs.
I hope they don't, because we do not need that.
Him and Rice, nasty work. But you know what? I think in the best way possible, right, is if Aiyuk just plays out his 5th-year option, right, takes the $14 million. We trade up, we go get Jaden Daniels, and then he's a free agent next year. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, I don't know if they franchise tag him. Or if they don't, they allow them to walk in free agency. Then we can kind of play with the idea of bringing in a Brandon Aiyuk.
And then it'd be easier to see what you have left with Devontae.
There you go. Because
you're old, then it'd be easier to get out of the contract, and maybe he could replace Devontae if you so felt like that was the move to make.
And it's crazy to think though that at this point you can still restructure. And salute to Jason, man. Gifting 5 more Wasted Talent memberships. We appreciate you, brother.
Shout out to Jason, man.
Salute to the Supers too. Cookie and 65. I appreciate you guys. But I was looking at this. You know what? I'm gonna find this real quick. Salute to everybody here in the building, y'all. We appreciate you guys as always. Wipe them feet, meaning hit them thumbs up. Pay your bar tabs. Also hit that subscribe button. Our little bro, man, Scout put something interesting up here. On Twitter yesterday, right? So he says right now, and this is according to Spot Track, we're projected at 41.3 million. I don't know if they've already accounted for the Jimmy G money, because I'm assuming that this is where we were prior to us talking about the Jimmy G money, okay? Yeah. But releases or trades, Jimmy Garoppolo, 11.2, 17 dead, post 6-1, 24 million free with 4.2 million dead. So this is not accounting the Jimmy Garoppolo money yet, okay? Hunter Renfrow, dead money 5.5 is a post June 1st will free up 11.8 million, and 1.8 will be dead cap. Okay, so there's a few other guys on this list that we can free up some money with. Jerry Tillery, 2.3 million with 1.8 dead cap. So we wouldn't really free up a lot of money there. Brandon Faison, $2.68 million this year. Let him go. $350,000 dead cap. Then Brandon Hoyer would free up $92,500. That's not really a lot with 2.6 million dead, which was his contract. And then we can move on from Zach Gentry, also the tight end that we brought in last year. He's under a contract with $1.1 million. We could free that up by walking away from him. I don't see us doing that because we're kind of thin at the tight end spot. I would keep him around. Big body tight end that can block. Keep him around. Now, this is where it gets interesting, okay? Projected restructuring. So we can free up a shit ton of money with Tay. Restructure him. I mean, I know it's going to put some more money at the end of his contract, which can come to bite us in the ass later on, but this will help this year. You can free up $10.5 million right now by restructuring him. Max Crosby, you restructure him, $11.9 million. You know Max is all about helping this team right now. He wants to win. Colton Miller, you can free up $5.5 million restructuring him. And then Jacoby, you can actually free up $7.2 million alone with Jacoby's contract. So that's already over $30 million right there. And he says there's a very realistic path the Raiders can get up to around $70 million in cap space before free agency even starts. And that's factoring in that $20 million going into the draft potentially. So, I don't think it's going to be $20 million by any stretch.
Well, I don't know, Graphk, because like you look at this, right? And these are spot track numbers, right? So we don't know exactly if they're completely accurate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the Davante Adams restructure, right? The Colton Miller restructure.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the point of doing that? Like
just bring up money to go all in now. That's what you're
all in to go get what? You know what I'm saying? Because you got a first year head coach, you got a whole bunch of young guys,
maybe a rookie quarterback, and you have a whole draft full of trench guys. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to do this deal. Like you do this when you go out there and you're like, yo, we need this and this in free agency. We got to pay this guy, and this guy. Like if the Raiders want sustained success, they have to be smart and disciplined. The reason why the Queefs are doing well is because, to be honest with you, they went out there and they drafted great. And if you look at everybody on that defense, from the George Karloftises of the world,
Leo Chanel's,
William
Gay,
this is all from 2 drafts.
Yeah,
and now they have one of the top defenses in the league, and they paid their crown jewel Patrick Mahomes, and then they're
walk and freed up a bunch of cap space.
And now they're able to move a few things around to keep Chris Jones, which I fully expect them to do, right? So why would the Raiders do something like this when we're at the point of of this thing where we're building towards something? I don't want to be married to Davante Adams any longer than I need to be, because that's Raiders of the past, where you have a guy who's, a year or 2 past his prime that you're paying premium money to.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. I want the Raiders to just stay the course, draft. The only thing I want them to be bombastic with, or to be, overly aggressive, is to locate the quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, whichever that is. But I don't need the Raiders going out there taking on a whole bunch of bad contracts and trying to kick the can down the hill, so that when they do need those free agents to fill in the roster to compete for a championship.
Realistically, when does that work, Wasted? We've seen the Chargers try and do this year in and year out. We see the Saints do it every year. They just keep kicking that money back. They're in salary cap hell, right? I mean, look at Denver. I think they're in the hole a shit ton of money, bro. Like,
yep.
It's very, very tough to get yourself outside of that. You know what I'm saying? Like to get back. Salary cap is very hard to deal with. You got, like, I would never want to have that job. Having to deal with it, like, that's a lot.
They have somebody for us that strictly deals with that.
Strictly.
Yeah. And I'm glad Tom Telesco doesn't have to make that decision. But you don't have to do all of that just to have this big number. Like, to me, to be real with you, this is a cool Twitter post. But in reality, the Raiders don't need to free up $70 million for what? You don't even have your quarterback on the roster. For what? Like, when you get your quarterback on the roster and he plays well and he's a stud and you got to pay him, and then when you got to pay the people around him, then you do shit like this. You don't do something like this now. I'm sorry.
I just see, now I got to push back a little bit, because, like we said, Davante's getting up there in age, right? Max is in the prime of his career right now. He wants to win now, right? Josh Jacobs, if we bring him back, we potentially get maybe 2 years, maybe 3 tops out of him moving forward. I think AP is feeling the pressure of Vegas, the lights, the other teams winning championships around him. There's a lot going on, bro. Like, I don't want to beat this team's future up by going like crazy. Freeing up $70 million, you may not have to restructure all those guys, but I'm okay with restructuring a few of them. I'm okay with restructuring a few guys, free up another potential $20 million, and potentially bringing a Leonard Williams. What's wrong with that?
A few guys, yeah, not the 4 that they're talking about.
No, I know. I'm just saying, because
it's the thing. I don't want to get rid of any of these guys. My thing is that I don't want to have Davante Adams at 37, 38 years old getting paid like the top wide receiver if he's not playing at that level. You know what I'm saying? His contract now is currently constituted. Leave that shit alone. Colton Miller, leave that alone, because we got to see how Colton Miller responds after having a few injuries. Yeah. He's always been the rock of Gibraltar for us. This might be the year when we might have to start entertaining moving on from Colton. Yeah. Right? So you don't want to be married to him longer. Colton Miller at this point this will be the last year you're kind of like married to him, right? Now, if you restructure Max Crosby, that's smart because Max Crosby
he's going to be around. He's going to be around.
Going to be around. He's young, so you can do that and kick because you don't mind having him on here longer where you can't get rid of Max Crosby because he's not up there. He's in his 20s.
And Robert structured Jacoby for what? Like he only has like another year, I believe, on his deal anyway. So there's no real reason to kick money back.
It's no real reason. And to be real with you, if I'm being honest, I think the Jacoby Myers deal as a whole was a bad choice for the last regime because the one thing that it's cool to have a second wide receiver, but the thing was, if you're going to keep Hunter Renfrow, why would you even do that? Yeah. Because what you effectively did was you killed Hunter Renfrow's value by bringing another receiver on the roster, and we needed so many other things. Like we should have went out there, and I don't want to get into them, but they should have went out there and put some money into that offensive line. They needed another guard bad. I would have rather seen them bring in a damn near Pro Bowl to start level guard than to make me sit there and watch Greg Van Roten have to figure it out all season.
Yeah, agreed. But you know what? I think that they thought a few of those guys that they had, you know, the Natane Moody's of the world, I thought that maybe they thought they would get more production out of them, that they would see them more on the field. I thought that Greg Van Roten would have been more of a rotational guy at best. Yeah. And they ended up having to utilize him all season long as the starter. So, but you know, the NFL, man, it's week by week. We don't know what you may see. I don't know, but we definitely got to upgrade from Greg Van Roten. That's for sure. Salute to Jason, man. Blessings, fellas. Hope y'all and the family had a blessed weekend. I've been watching some JJ McCarthy tape, and I'm kind of getting sold on him instead of trading up if he's there. Raider Nation for life. Salute to my guy, Jason.
Look, guys, I've told y'all this. There are things that I like about JJ McCarthy. I'm one of the first guys to bring this up. I like JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy looks the part. 6'4", big, strong arm. He's mobile. You know, the problem with JJ McCarthy is when you start reading his stats in college, is that a symptom of Jim Harbaugh and the pro style offense? Because he's never really had a quarterback in his offense that really lights it up. Like when he was in San Francisco, when he had Alex Smith was more of a dual threat guy. They would like Jim Harbaugh essentially was running a college offense with the 49ers with Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, Colin Kaepernick didn't light the world on fire. Yeah. He really lit the world on fire with his legs. Mm-hmm. He lit the world on fire with his legs. And there's
a strong arm. Don't get me wrong, but yeah.
No, he definitely did have a strong arm. But what I'm saying is JJ McCarthy is a guy, when you look at some of his tape, like, look, I looked at a game that he had against Bowling Green. It wasn't great. You have other games where you see him throwing the football.
You would expect him to kill Bowling Green.
Yeah. And you got other games where he's throwing that football and he's making NFL throws. He's putting the ball in between the sideline and the receiver. He's putting it right in their hands. So I don't know if it's a symptom of Jim Harbaugh or is it a symptom of JJ McCarthy. But what I will tell you is that he's the kind of kid that I would not be upset with if look, and I'm going to be real with you guys. And I'm not being non-committal. This is the first time in my adult life watching a quarterback draft where there's about 5 or 6 guys that I wouldn't be mad about. Yeah. Of course, I wouldn't be mad about Caleb Williams. Of course, I wouldn't be mad about Drake May. I'd be ecstatic if we get Jaden Daniels. But if I'm being honest, if we get Michael Penix Jr., it all depends on where we get him. I can wrap my mind around it. That's a guy who throws people open. We've
been high on him since day one.
Since day one, right? So I'm not going to be mad about JJ McCarthy because he's a kid. When you look at him, look, Graphk knows how I feel about quarterbacks. Yeah, I feel like if you're big, you're strong, you throw the ball hard, if you can move and you're willing to work, you can make him into a player. That's how I've always felt. I feel like JJ McCarthy's that kind of kid. Bo Nix, another kid, accurate. You know what I'm saying? Played in some different scenarios. So those are and Spencer Rattler as well. So they're like 6, 7 guys where I'm not going to be like, oh, he sucks. Well, but with JJ McCarthy, look, guys, you got to realize something. He is raw. Yeah. So if you draft him, you can't draft him in a way where he's the savior of your franchise. You know that you might have to bring in an incumbent that he might have to sit and watch for a little bit.
But there's another reason why you don't go all in with the restructuring, like we talked about, right, Wasted? Because we haven't identified the quarterback yet. If we're gonna have a young rookie out there calling the shots, it's very scary to put all your eggs in that basket, restructuring and just hoping that it happens. When the Rams did it, right? When the Rams just said all these draft picks, take them, they had Matthew Stafford. You know what I'm saying? They went and got Matthew Stafford, or they had they had what's his name the year prior. They had Jared Goff.
Yeah, Jared Goff. Yeah.
But they had a slew of superstar players that they were just getting rid of draft capital and selling out to win a championship. You have to have that quarterback first. We have Aiden O'Connell right now. We have Aiden O'Connell. Like, you can't even think about restructuring all those deals without locating the quarterback. So I agree with you, brother. But I do believe we should tinker with Max's deal, restructure, free up that money, because that'll help us, because we know he's going to be here for the foreseeable future. He'll be here for a long time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Bro, real quick, too. You got to look at the jump that the Rams made after moving up to go get Jared Goff. The Rams were a team that didn't make the playoffs for like 7 years.
It was wild.
Yeah. It was like 7 years, something like that. It was a while. You know, after Kurt Warner and Mark Bulger and all of that, it was a while. They were bad for a while. When they moved up and got Jared Goff, they got right back into play. Now, Jared Goff wasn't able to get them over the hump, but he did get them to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That they lost, but he got them to a Super Bowl. Look, man, until you locate the quarterback, you can't paint yourself in the corner. That's just how I feel.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Just hypothetical. If you knew you can free up all that money from Devontae, from Colton, from Max, and potentially Jacoby, right? And you knew that Chris Jones was leaving, and you can pay him. You can pay Chris Jones, and you can bring in a corner. I mean, you're probably not going to be able to bring in the Snead also, but let's just say you got a little, you go to the next tier, a Stephon Gilmore, another veteran that's still playing at a high clip. Would you free up that kind of money to bring in the Chris Jones and another corner to add to the other side of Jack Jones, if possible? If you knew you could restructure that bread and bring in the likes of a Chris Jones or one of those higher ceiling or higher guys at the cornerback position, would you do it?
No, because what I'm losing on the offensive side of the football. So now I have a team that has a great defense, and I got an offensive side of the football that can't do anything.
I'm only asking because you've been saying keep building that defense. Keep building that defense.
But you can build the defense without going out there and mortgaging what you already have on the roster for, like if I'm going to do something like that, I'm going to get him out of Buke because he's a younger guy. Yeah. He looks like he's on upward trajectory as opposed to Chris Jones, who was, he's not old. Chris Jones is 29 years old. Yeah. I guess in the NFL that's old. But then you also got to look at, like in football, it's like in boxing, you have ring miles. Mm-hmm. Now, people don't realize something, bro. This is the reason why you're starting to see Travis Kelce break down. People look at Travis Kelce like he's a lot younger than Rob Gronkowski. But why is Rob Gronkowski not in the league anymore? I think they might be a year apart. Mm-hmm. Or they might be to say, how old is Travis Kelce? How is Rob Gronkowski? Let me see something real quick.
Isn't he like 31 or something?
I think they might be the same age, man. I think they
I'm tripping, bro. He's 34. He'll be 35 in October.
Right. So Travis Kelce, right, is 35, right? How old is Gronk?
Gronk is, I believe, 36, right? Let me see. Gronk, he's 34. He'll be 35 in May 14th.
So they're the same age, right? And in our minds, Rob Gronkowski is ancient compared to Travis Kelce.
Because of everything he's done, also, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's ring miles. In his career, from day one, they were going to Super Bowls and they were playing deep into the season. And Travis Kelce, in the beginning of his career, they would make the playoffs, but they wouldn't go this deep. Yeah. Now they've been like the Patriots. And look how it's starting to add up now.
Yeah.
Because he's playing deep to the last game of the season, the last few games. It's the same thing with a guy like LeBron. That's why LeBron is such an amazing specimen. Yeah. Because for more than 10 years, the guy was in the finals like every year, bro. He goes as far as you can go in the season. So that's the way I look at it, Chris Jones. Chris Jones is 29, but chronologically, bro, he's probably 33 because of how much football he's playing.
Mackie, one more year on this deal. Kuntz has one more year left on this deal. And Lewis, we're going to talk about this right now. So real quick, you guys, there was some news that came out, I believe, yesterday, day before, that we went out. Well, it's not official yet. I don't believe, even though on the Wikipedia, somebody's already updated as our quarterback's coach. But we went out and got a guy, and Rich, I always butcher his last name, Scangarello.
Yeah, Scangarello.
Scangarello. You see, you from up there, you know how to do it. Scangarello, Rich Scangarello, a guy that has been around for a while. He has a major football pedigree. I mean, he coached at UC Davis in the 90s, Idaho, Carleton. He was at Idaho again as a quarterback's coach. Went back to UC Davis as a wide receivers coach, co-offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach for UC Davis. Actually coached for our Oakland Raiders in 2009, also as an offensive quality coach Went to Millsaps as an assistant head coach, offensive coordinator, and quarterbacks coach. Northern Arizona, Atlanta Falcons as an offensive quality control coach. Then went to Wagner in 2016, offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach. Then went to the Niners 2017 to 2018 as their quarterbacks coach. In 2019, didn't really look too good as the offensive coordinator in Denver. Then went to Philadelphia as the senior offensive assistant in 2020. Then went back to the Niners in 2021 as the quarterbacks coach, which a lot of people think that he failed, to develop Trey Lance. And then he went to Kentucky and was let go also a year or so ago in 2022 as the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. A lot of people don't also realize that he is right now in the offseason working with Caleb Williams. So take that as you will. I know a lot of people are kind of questioning, this pickup because of him being let go a few times, right? But he has a massive football pedgree. So there's a lot. And mind you, I know we're looking at some smaller schools. We're looking at UC Davis. We're looking at, Carleton and Millsaps and shit like that. But he's been in the NFL, Falcons, Niners, Eagles, Broncos. And then he was recently let go by Kentucky. People tend to think that he failed to develop Will Levis. But that year in 2022, they didn't have a lot of weapons. You know what I'm saying? Their offensive line was beat to shit. You know what I mean? And there was a reason why Kentucky did not succeed that last year with Will Levis. So I'm not gonna.
It's not like Kentucky's a football powerhouse either.
No, but they had lost Wan'Dale Robinson the year prior. They didn't really have that many weapons over there. You know what I mean? And like I said, that O-line was beat to shit. Will Levis was working with the bare minimum out there. You know what I mean? And he was let go. But I want to ask you, man, how do you feel about this pickup? Knowing his history, the extensive experience. How are you feeling about bringing in Richie?
I'm not feeling excited about it. There's not one quarterback that he's been connected to that's been successful from what I can see. Yeah. And I can't even give him credit for Brock Purdy. Can I? Does he have any connection to Brock Purdy?
Not really.
So there's not one with other quarterbacks. He's
gonna be known for Trey Lance, bro. He's gonna be known for Trey Lance.
Yeah. So
Jimmy G not being able to take it to the next step.
So when I see him and I see Rich Scangarello, bro, there's nobody on his resume that I can point to and be like, hey, man, he did his damn thing with this guy. Now, do I know what kind of coach he is? Do I know how he is with mechanics and with players and stuff? That's the kind of thing you got to be there to see that. There has to be some reason why they're considering him and why he is supposedly gets all of these jobs. But sometimes you get some of these guys where they get these jobs and they interview very well and they're very, very impressive with their lingo and what they're going to do and all of this other nonsense, right? And
you can't give him a little bit of love with Jalen Hurts, though. You can. In 2020, he was there with them, as their senior offensive assistant. So I don't know how hands-on he was, but he was there with Jalen Hurts. So that's all. But
see, the thing is with Jalen Hurts, right? When you look at that, Jalen Hurts as a quarterback, Jalen Hurts as a running back masquerading as a quarterback is great. Mm-hmm. Jalen Hurts dropping back and throwing the football. Is that the guy I want coaching my quarterback? That I want to throw the football? No fucking way.
Did you see what Chris Sims said about him today? And he's catching a lot of flack on Twitter, saying he's the most overrated player in the league.
Yeah, I see Chris, but you know what the thing with Chris Sims? Chris Sims used to have a lot of good insight when he first stopped playing, right? Decent insight.
Hot takes.
But now he's a hot take artist. And I can't respect a guy talking about somebody being overrated who should have never been in the National Football League to begin with.
Yeah.
What's fucking with that? You should have never even got your job starting at the University of Texas. So F you, Chris Sims.
And not even that. When you go back and look at that Super Bowl that Jalen won, he had an insane game, bro. Like he actually played a hell of a game in that Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they just lost, man. It was what it was. Patrick Mahomes snatched a victory from the jaws of the Eagles.
No, I thought they won one.
They won one, not with him. They won that with what's my old boy name? The backup. That was when they had Carson Wentz and they had the Eagles didn't win with Jalen Hurts. They lost to the Chiefs. They won with what the fuck was his name, yo?
Nick Foles, right? Nick Foles.
Yeah, the Philly special, yeah.
Let me see. I'm trying to think. I could have swore, but they had won another one.
Nah, they went and they lost to Kansas City, bro. They lost last year.
I'm over here lost in the sauce right now. Salute the king, man. The reason you may need to restructure some contracts is if we do what most people are saying, trade up to get the quarterback, how are we going to fill out the rest of the roster? We have to give up something. Salute the king 85 on a $10 donation. Salute the Big Al also. Yeah. Nick Foles threw 7 touchdowns against us. That shit was nasty work. Salute Graphk and Wasted. I personally feel that every 20 years or so, there's a draft where generational QBs are taken as the 83 draft for Marino, Kelly, and Elway, 04 with Eli, Big Ben, and Rivers. Facts, bro. Facts.
Yeah, shout out to my guy Big Al too, man. That is a inaugural member to get off my lawn gang as well. Shout out to Big Al.
Yeah, salute to Big Al, man, for the $10 donation. Let me see. Walt, we don't have to do anything, but we could do what we want. We could talk about what we want. So, you know what I mean? One thing about I see old man Walt in the comment section. You be losing sight of who really runs this shit, Walt. I think you tend to forget, man, that there's 2 guys on the screen in Graphk, Raider, and Wasted Talent that actually run this shit. So kick back, old man. Enjoy the show, man.
Yeah, I mean, there must be a reason why you're watching, right? You know, Walt, lately you've been going off the rails, and I'm going to be honest with you, Walt. I normally don't, go back and forth with people in the chat because, listen, I respect everybody's opinion, right? But yo, bro, I understand.
I don't shut that shit up.
Let me finish real quick, yo, bro. Yo, I respect people's opinions that respect ours, though. Like, you know what I'm saying, bro? You're here for a reason. I don't go to Walt's house and knock on the door and ask you your opinion about a goddamn thing. So either shut up and eat your peach cobbler or get the F out of here.
That shit ain't leather, Walt. Salute to Burton. Another small-minded move by the Raiders. The QB coach needs to be a young minority to get those 3rd picks. QB coaches are more likely to become OC. Wait. Hold on. Another small-minded move by the Raiders. The QB coach needs to be young minority to get those 3rd picks.
I guess they talking about the Rooney Rule shit.
Yeah. QB coaches are more likely to become OC. Salute to Burton on the $5 donation. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know where that. I don't really know where to go with that. Let me see. Yeah, it's whatever. It definitely is whatever. Walt. Definitely. There's a whole bunch of motherfuckers on YouTube that do this shit. They don't do it like we do, but go over there, have some fun. Real quick, also, you guys, we talked about Rich. Brother, man, I'm gonna be honest. I'm still very much questioning this pickup. I don't know what to expect. I'm already worried about the offensive side of the football anyway, with Luke Getsy calling the shots. So with him and Rich there, I'm a little worried. But I liked this pickup. You know what I mean? We brought in Cadillac Williams, bro, a guy that we watched play a shit ton of football that John Gruden, former Raider, drafted. He kind of ran his kneecaps into the ground out there in Tampa Bay, right? A guy that has a shit ton of experience also as a player from 2005 to 2010. He was a Buck, then went to the Rams in 2011, then retired. But as a coach, Henderson State, running backs coach. West Georgia, graduate assistant. IMG Academy, running backs coach. Birmingham Iron, running back coach. Auburn, 2019 to 2022, running backs coach. Auburn intern head coach. So he had some success over there as well. Auburn 2023 associate head coach and running backs coach, and now presently with our Raiders, a guy that had a pretty good NFL career. I thought it would have been a little longer, but they did run him to the ground, man. How do you feel about bringing in Cadillac Williams as our running backs coach?
Bro, I mean, I'm with all of the former players, bro. Like, this will be one of the most credible coaching staffs in the league, man, because you got a whole bunch of guys that I remember that actually made an impact on the field. You remember, like, when we were growing up, maybe because we were young, but there were a lot of coaches where you'd be like, dog, who the fuck is this guy? You know what I'm saying? You don't really remember when they played, or they weren't any good when they played. Yeah. You got a whole bunch of guys that were dogs on. Like, yeah. I remember Edgar Bennett. Yeah, like, I remember the Packers. I remember Edgar Bennett. Bro. He was a great receiving running back. He's a good running back. Like, I remember Cadillac was a beast at Auburn, bro. Yeah, he was a beast in the NFL. He really I always thought Josh Jacobs runs a lot like Cadillac. Ooh, I always thought that, bro.
Okay. I think we have had that conversation in the past before we even hired him.
Yeah, like Cadillac and Emmitt Smith remind me of Josh Jacobs. I think Josh Jacobs got a little bit more. He got a little bit more shake to him than Emmitt does. But he reminds me of those guys, bro. So, look, I'm happy about it, bro. Look, I think we upgraded as far as players go. I think he was a better running back than Deshaun Foster.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, look, we upgraded, right, though? I don't know, man.
We shall see. I think we have with Josh there, I think we have a great running backs room anyway. They made Kennedy Palomalu look like like one of them ones. And he went to Seattle now, and he got Kenneth Walker and those guys over there. But
Balling.
I think I
said balling.
Yeah. So I like this pickup, man. I do. I think this is a very sneaky move because this wasn't a name that we heard about at all, potentially being our guy. But once again, Antonio Pierce, being the player he was, finds another hidden gem that could potentially help this run game get back to what it was a year prior to last year. You know what I mean? And maybe we can be one of those number one run game, have one of those number one run games in the NFL again, because we know with Josh healthy, and if Zeus can continue to build on those last 4 games, we're on to something here, bro. We really are on to something, man. So,
bro, look, man, that picture that you pulled up the other day, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Zeus out here looking like Bo Jackson out this mug, man. I'm like, man, hey, listen, bro. If he can build on whatever he did last year, bro, and get some more, because like being a running back is a lot of his touches, right? A lot of it was touches. Yo, I never thought I'd see it there with Graphk was the goal.
Hey, Dan, let me say this real quick. We love Walt, man. Walt's always here rocking with us, but as of late, he has been mad, like just hella angry for no reason, bro. Like, look at this shit. You fucks don't like what he said. You fucks don't want to know my 25 years mocking. I'm good. Like, bro, what? Like, what does that mean, bro? Like,
yeah, nah, Walt. Listen, bro, we respect where you coming from,
yo,
bro.
what the fuck are you, fam?
That shit ain't leather, Walt. Nah, for real. This is how I view. Those who want respect, give it.
Yeah,
that's all. Like, yo, like, come on, Walt. You like the whole show. You just attacking, brother. We got love. We got love for the old man Walt, man.
But you know what's funny? Walt is either 85 years old somewhere, or he's 12, living in a basement in the Midwest.
Walt is definitely like 71 years old. Like, I can hear from the way he talks and the things he recollects. Walt's probably like 68, 71 years old.
I like that kick. The Graphk Wasted and Walt show.
That's right. It's the Walt. Walt has made the show come off the rails. Right. That's right. That is
yes.
The Walt show, man. Like, man, I ain't mad at Walt, man. We got love for Walt.
No, we do. Also, we have had 3 teams in 40 years competing for a Super Bowl. Why wouldn't I be mad?
That's true. And he was there to witness it all, too.
Yeah.
Look, hey, Walt, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been alive for 2 of the Raiders Super Bowls.
I haven't.
Well, I've been alive for 3 of them. Of course, I don't count the Rich Gannon year because we all, you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about 1980 and 84. I remember that Super Bowl. Like, I'm a little older than Graphk, right? But I don't remember the one in the 70s.
A little bit older.
I'm a lot older than Graphk.
You was in kindergarten when I was still in the womb, motherfucker.
Yeah. Shit.
Salute to Rob. I want to say thank you guys for all the hard work, man. Thank you, Rob. Real talk, brother. That means a lot to us, man. We appreciate you as always, man. Our guy, bro.
Let me ask you something, Graphk. I was thinking, man. What do you think is the strongest positional group in free agency this year, bro? Like, where would you go?
It's got to be it. Well, let me say this. I think the strongest is wide receiver, but we don't need that. Now, defensive tackle is a second right behind wide receiver, and that's a need. Look at all these receivers. T. Higgins, which it looks as though he's going to be brought back under the franchise tag. You got Calvin Ridley. There's a shit ton of players. Hollywood Brown. You know what I mean? I think the wide receiver position may be the deepest, but I love defensive tackle, but I just don't know what is realistic. Is it Chris Jones realistic? Is Leonard Williams? People tend to forget Seattle gave up some draft capital to go get him just a year ago. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they may want to bring him back, even though they don't really have that much salary left. You know what I mean? They don't really have enough to play with. So I don't know if they can afford to bring him back. But Christian Wilkins, right? He may get franchised, or he may get a big deal out there in Miami. So I don't really know. I think Justin, out there in Baltimore is going to get franchised, or they're going to find a way to keep him. That is a deep class, but I think these free agents and wide receiver are going to be guys that a lot of those guys are going to be switching teams.
That's a fact. Now, see, it's a lot of people that they've been putting as free agents that we all talk about, we make shorts about. But if I'm being honest, most of the guys that we're talking about are going to be back with their team. They're going to be franchised. Like Matabuki, I can't see them not franchised.
Bro, he's 25, 26 years old. How do you move on from that?
That kid is a star. They're going to franchise him. They're going to sign him. Chris Jones, they're gonna move heaven and earth, and damn, Primoz just made me feel old. He said his pops was born in 75.
Hey, I still feel young.
Damn. Bro, you know what fucked me up?
I know.
You know, look, it fucked me up when I found that me and Andy's dad is like the same age.
Yeah.
It really messed me up, yo. Well, I found out I'm older than Andy's mom.
Yeah.
I'm like a couple years older than Andy's mom. Like that makes me, that messed me up, yo.
hey, Cap, there are some sneaky guys like right there. This would be not spending massive money, but not basement shopping. You know what I'm saying? Like a DJ Reader. He's probably like the 5th best defensive tackle out there. You got Kinlaw out there. You have Autry, Fletcher Cox, Sheldon Rankins. There's some names out there that you could potentially live. And that's not basement shopping. It's still, you can still bring in some guys that can still play at a pretty high level. So, but the thing is this, you know, with this kind of money being freed up this year, I feel like you have to take advantage of it. You got to go get some of those top guys. If they're not available, you can't do nothing about it. If Chris Jones goes back to the Chiefs, there's nothing you can do about that. Yeah. If Christian Wilkins gets franchise tag, there's nothing you can do about that. Leonard Williams, I feel like, is a realistic option. Another guy that I do is Kevin Dotson, the guard out there with the Rams, bro. Like, Pittsburgh moved on from him. He went to the Rams. He ended up playing at a really high level at the guard spot. The Rams are known for letting those guys walk. They're not going to pay him the money that Spot Track is projecting him to get. He'll move on. And we may potentially get him. He's a guy that is a great run blocker. We could potentially bring him in.
Bro, I'm going to be honest with you. The only top shelf guy that I see us even having a chance to get out there is a corner from the Bears, man. Jalen Johnson.
I think they bring it. Bro, they have the most money in free agency, bro. There's no way to let him walk.
I know they do, but then you got to look at what's going on there, right? Like they might go out there and in their infinite wisdom just draft a kid and get young all the way around. Do they really want to, commit? I mean, he's still young too, right? But do they want to commit that kind of money if they're going to start everything over again?
Well, you got $85 million. You have to spend it.
You got to spend
it. You know what I mean? Like, and why not bring back homegrown talent? This guy has shown that he can get it done. Already an all-pro guy. There's no reason why you don't pay him. You just pay Montez Sweat.
Yeah, you're right, bro. So what is it, L'Jarius Sneed?
It may be, because at that point, you're still paying a rookie quarterback, whether it's Justin Fields or a Caleb Williams. So you still have a cheap deal for a quarterback. You gotta spend, bro. You gotta spend that money somewhere.
Yeah, I know, bro, because you got a cap floor too, right? So it's like, what do you like, bro? It's rough, man, because all of these names, the big free agency is going to be over. And I've always wanted Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams, a guy that I wanted us to draft when we drafted Cooper. Yeah. The thing is that he's really going to be the only one that is a legitimate. He I don't think Matabuke and Chris Jones are going to be. I don't even think Christian Wilkins is either. Them guys are not going to be in play for us, bro. They're going back to their original team. Leonard Williams is probably Leonard Williams a bust.
Hey, real quick, salute to the new members. AD, I see Ant also. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to bring this up, Maul, because I agree with you. I'm going to be totally real. I don't really see all the hype with Sneed, bro.
I don't either. That's why I don't really mention him, bro.
He's due like $18 million a season. I'm not paying that for Sneed. When you got Jack Jones on a rookie deal, you got Nate Hobbs on a rookie deal, you got Jacorian Bennett, who I still want to see a lot more. I'm not that big of a fan of Sneed, bro.
Jarius Sneed is the J.C. Jackson of this free agent
bro,
class.
You got Trent McDuffie on the other end helping you out massively, bro. Like, Sneed is good, but I'm not paying that kind of money for Sneed, bro. I'm sorry. He may be good, but to me, he's not great. And mind you, I don't know if people realize this. Went to Louisiana Tech. Him and Aiyuk were former teammates. They were drafted back-to-back in the 4th round. I don't know if anybody realizes this. They were in the same draft, 4th round, both Louisiana Tech guys, both used to play together, former teammates. We potentially got to bring Aiyuk back too, and he'll be inexpensive. You know what I mean?
Bro, Primoz hit it on the head too, bro. Said he holds like a motherfucker.
Yes, he does.
And the only reason why he doesn't get called is because he's a Kansas City Queen.
Yeah.
Like real rap. They don't call anything on them. You see the way they were mauling Nick Bosa. I went back and watched some of the plays in the Super. They were mauling Nick Bosa.
And do y'all want to pay? This guy is not a all-pro player. He's never been a Pro Bowler, I believe. I don't think he's ever been a Pro Bowler, bro. And that's the easiest shit to get into in the NFL. Now it's fucking flag football.
So let me ask you a question. What do you think about Adoree Jackson Jr., bro?
I've always been high on him since USC. I like it.
Does he still return kicks?
Yes, he could do it all. He could do special teams, but I don't know if I don't think he's going to be a guy that's going to come in and be he's going to change the dynamic in the DB room. I don't know.
I mean, look.
Dory's also dealt with some injuries, right?
Starter. If we have a legitimate starter on the other side of Jack Jones, and we can keep Nate Hobbs in the slot, and you can keep Amik Roberts from having to be featured as a corner that you have out there all the time, then I'm cool. I'm cool, bro. I'm just talking about a guy that's a starter, and is this a guy that we've been forgetting about, Jacorian Bennett? Can Jacorian Bennett take another step and become a guy that's a viable starter? Yeah. Possibly. I mean, we were very high on him last year.
I'm looking at this list of free agent corners, and to be honest with you, I see Jalen Johnson's my number one. He's number one on this list from PFF. They got Snead. Another guy that's out there is Kendall Fuller. You know, I mean, a former Chicago Bear, so I don't know if Champ Kelly would be reaching out for him. Stephon Gilmore, man. I know he's getting up there in age, but he's still playing at a high clip. I wouldn't be, and I know he's already came out and said that he would like to return to Dallas and run it back. He thinks they have everything in play to make it happen. I would look at a Stephon Gilmore, bro, because we're so young in that corner room. The oldest corner we have is Brandon Faison, like Jacorian Bennett, Nate Hobbs, Jack Jones. We're very, very young at the cornerback position, bro. I would love to bring in a guy like Stephon Gilmore that can help, mold these guys and help, shape their futures, man. But Steven Nelson, I'm good.
I'm cool on Stephon Gilmore, bro, to be real with you. 2 years ago, I would have liked to have Stephon.
Kenny Moore, a guy that plays a lot in the slot. You would probably have to move Nate Hobbs to the perimeter, which would you want to do that? You know what I'm saying? But another guy, like what Terrence said, I'd take a chance on Jeff Okudah. He played good for the Atlanta Falcons.
On the cheap? Yeah, bring him on in, man. High draft pick. That's the Raider way. Bring him in.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Bring him in. That's a guy you can rehab. He still has a lot of tread left on the tire. Why not?
People say the Chiefs O-line is amazing. They hold it. I mean, bro, they had the number one Geo. This is facts. They had the number one penalized right tackle in the NFL. And then out of nowhere, there wasn't one hold, I believe, in the Super Bowl for them. I don't think they ever called for a hold in the playoffs, bro.
No, it was like 17 quarters they weren't called for a hold. So it was crazy, bro.
That's crazy. Salute to Pace. Snead and Jalen aren't the only free agent. No, we're going over it right now, Pace. We're actually going over it right now, brother. Castro says, would you go for Xavier Howard if he's released? I would.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Man,
he's already gotten his money. You don't have to pay him a shit ton of money to come in and be that veteran.
Hot take, I'd rather have him than Snead or Jalen Johnson.
Because you don't have to pay $20 million for him.
Exactly, bro. And plus, I know that he's actually hit that level before.
What is this?
Your shoulder.
He's going to have a chip on it.
That's right.
He's going to have a chip on it. You know what I'm saying? So,
taste the soup. Taste the soup.
You know what I mean? Salute to Castro, man. Salute to everybody here in the building. But there's also some other sneaky corners in this class. Like we said, Adoree Jackson. He's still fairly young. I'm not against looking at, hey, why don't we bring back another guy? Why don't we bring back Keyshawn Nixon? He's a free agent. I
can't be mad at that either.
Great special teams player. I know he didn't work for us at the cornerback position, but he also had fucking Paul Gunther calling the defense.
Oh my God, Paulie G. That's another guy that interviews very, very well.
Hey, man. But there's another guy that is a sneaky guy out there as well, a Sean Murphy Button. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can look at him.
Oh, yeah, from Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah. So he played for Tennessee, I believe, this past season, but he is from Tampa Bay. But there's some guys out there. Man. And when we get closer to free agency, you guys, we will definitely break down every room in terms of free agency. Salute to GA. AP building the coaching staff. Dude wants to play for. I think our free agent game is about to be different. And that's why I was saying, GA, why I mentioned all those restructures, because they may want to go all out, but they also, just like our brother Wasted said, you got to be smart about it, though. You know what I mean? You can't just sell out. Look, if we're coming off a deep playoff run and we had all this money, it makes sense to say, sell out, restructure all these guys, go get it. We didn't even sniff the playoffs this past season. So we got to approach this with a little bit of class. And I think Tom Telesco doesn't want to go all out year one. I think he will for the quarterback position, but also, you know what I'm saying, like trading other draft capital to move up and do all this other shit. That's a lot. Like I said, with the Brandon Aiyuk, that's a little difficult to expect both of these guys. I'm just going to kick back and see how this shit plays out with Aiyuk. If he goes the 50-year option and doesn't sign with them, hey, let's see what he got next year. Because then you got a 26-year-old all-pro receiver with a chip on his shoulder that wants to play for AP.
And then you don't know what the landscape of the receiver market will be the year after that anyway. It might be a guy you might want more than that.
Yeah.
I think that what winds up happening is we get sensory like it's almost like we get sensory overload. We see all these players and just, oh, he looked great in silver and black. And bro, we building something. Let's build this thing. Let's focus on the trenches. Let's go get our quarterback.
Yeah.
To me, that's where it begins and ends. Trenches, QB, done.
Yeah.
And then you move forward. Add to the defense. That's what we got to worry about, man. All the rest of this stuff is cute. But, bro, when you got an embarrassment of riches at wide receiver, if you got a receiver like a Devontae Adams and a Jacoby Myers, bro, and then we just drafted a receiver.
Yeah.
Like let this man develop, man.
Let him cook.
Let him develop, man. Get rid of Hunter Renfrow. Go out there late in the draft. Maybe you might bring in another kid. You know, it's just I just like, bro, we want it all, and then we'll sit up here and we'll blame this organization for not handling the finances of the organization, right?
Yeah.
We have to build from the inside out. Like, I think what happens, especially with offensive coaches, that's why I'm glad that Antonio Pierce is our coach, is that they get too in their own way with shit. Like, John Gruden always got in his own way. He used to ignore this stuff. You can't ignore. Football is always football. If you look at the Chiefs, you look at teams that win. Look at the 49ers. The 49ers are stout on both sides of that football.
Both.
It's time we get there so we can go and impose our will on teams and not have to, well, maybe if we catch them on a good day and if they got a backup quarterback, we might win. No, I want us to be able to go in there and run the ball down people's throats and physically beat their asses up. Because that's the only way we beating the Chiefs is we beat their asses up. We got to beat them up.
Yeah.
Like, y'all got to get into wasting with the boxing. Yo, you got to go and be body punchers and be defensively, have a good Philly shell.
Yeah.
That's what we need, bro.
Factory. Salute to Big Al. There's no market value. I can't find the market value on Amik, but I'm assuming probably a couple $1 million. I don't.
Yeah, Amik Robinson, you can get him for a half-eaten slice of pizza at this point.
Yeah, because his rookie
more
deal,
than others.
At this point, I mean, last year he was paid $3 million, 3.7. No, I'm sorry. No, he wasn't. That's the total he's made in his NFL career is 3.7 million. He was only paid 1.1 last year. So I'm assuming he hasn't done anything insane. He's made some big plays, right? He has a few pick six and stuff like that. So I'm not going to beat up Amik, but I'm assuming, man, maybe $2 to $3 million a season. Maybe you can bring him back for a 2-3 year deal, $2-3 million a piece. I mean, nothing crazy, nothing insane. You know what I mean? A guy that wants to be here. I'm not against that at all. I think he deserves a pay raise. You know, he's played well for us. Give him.
I like Amik, man. The thing is that, you know, I like Amik. I feel the same way about Amik that I do about Aiden O'Connell. Do I like him? Do I hope he comes back? Yeah. But do I feel like there's room for, you know, going out there and searching to see if you can upgrade that position? Yeah, I do. And I know that might sound fucked up, but it's the truth. It's not like I'm going to sit here and act like Amik Roberts is fucking Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you got Charles Woodson, you're like, man, we cool. That's not where we're at with Amik Roberts.
Yeah. Oh, I now I got exactly what you meant in the
Yeah.
Nasty work. Salute to Gio. I like the former player position coaches for player/coach relationships. Just hope they're capable of teaching and elevating their level of play. Factory, brother. Factory.
That's what we're really looking for, bro. We're looking for a coaching staff that knows how to kind of get to the mind of these players, get them bought in, sold, and elevate where they are. Because you don't get to be a great football team without bringing in young players and raising their level of play from where it was when you brought them in. That's what it's all about. It's more so about that. That's really more important than going out here and spending all this money in free agency. Because if you look at the Chiefs, and I hate to keep talking about them,
they're the champs. They're the gold standard.
Their roster is a bunch of people that they drafted.
Yeah.
It is from Patrick Mahomes all the way down to Chris Jones to Snead. They drafted all these fuckers.
All of them. Leo
that's what's crazy.
Trent McDuffie, Patrick Mahomes, Rice, all of them.
Pacheco, all of them. They drafted these guys, and they even brought Mecole Hardman back, who they drafted.
Yep. And
who caught the game-winning touchdown. I mean, golly.
Salute to GA. Two things that travel: run game and defense. Factory. Salute to AD also. Man, I swear if Amik was not 4-2. Facts, man. But, you know, hey, and I see people, you know, trying to kill us for, you know, trying to get rid of him every year. He's a free agent, man. Look, bring him back. It's homegrown talent. I don't know if you guys realized. Go back and watch. I started this channel the year we drafted Amik Robertson. And I put out 3 videos on him that said he was going to be the steal of that draft. Because I really believed in Aiyuk because I watched a lot of him at the college level. And I thought Aiyuk was going to be that guy, because of his measurables, he was going to come in with a chip on his shoulder, be upset, be mad, be pissed, and he was going to play the way he plays. Yes, he's a boomer bust guy, but I'm not going to act as though Aiyuk is Deion Sanders, y'all. He's definitely, if you move on from him, you move on from him. It is what it is, but I would like to bring him back. Why not?
I just hate how, and this is where the older guys, the Ben Bads of the world, the Teasers of the world, the Walts of the world, you know what I'm saying, the top beats of the world. This is why I like having the older guys in the chat, because they don't fall in love with players that haven't won shit.
Yeah.
I think younger Raider fans fall in love with the players because they're growing up watching these guys. And they're like, oh, how could you talk about get rid of Renfro? How could you get rid of Aiyuk? And it's like, bruh, hey, man, it ain't like they walking into the Hall of Fame. No. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if you can upgrade, you upgrade. The older guys, and I think we're kind of in that trajectory too.
We've been so bad, we overvalue everything, bro.
Yeah, bro.
People think Hunter Renfro is Jerry Rice.
Yeah, bro. And it's like, yo, we can't live on that in that world, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Hey, Albert, and I like that you brought this up. If we strike out on the top 3 quarterbacks in the draft, roll with a vet, Cousins, Russ, or stick with AOC and a Brissett type and try again next year. Salute to you because did you see what happened earlier? Did you see I don't know if it was the Jets GM or whatever. Somebody was on ESPN. And
Mike Tannenbaum.
Bro, Mike Tannenbaum. Bro, he said that Russell Wilson should be backing up Aaron Rodgers with the Jets this year, bro.
I think Mike Tannenbaum should be backing his ass up and getting the F off of ESPN. You mean to tell me that they didn't renew Ryan Clark's contract, but they brought this bum back?
Bro, Bart went and smelled his coffee. Did you see that shit?
No.
He grabbed his coffee, was like, to see if there was any alcohol in that motherfucker. like, bro, that's nasty work to say that Russell Wilson has to go somewhere and back up somebody. He's 36. He's on. If he wants to play on a 1-year deal to build up, what are you talking about, bro?
Russell Wilson don't have to back nobody up. And the reason why I always bring Russell Wilson up is because if we strike out, because everybody's, oh, you go get the young guy, go get him. What happens if they don't play ball with you at number 3?
Yeah.
What happens? And what happens if the people in their infinite wisdom here only want Jaden Daniels?
Yeah.
What happens?
Yeah.
What happens if they're like, yo, I am not taking McCarthy at 13. I ain't taking Bo Nix at 13. Maybe I might go to 2. And then the guys it just doesn't work out.
Yeah. Because
we look at all these mock drafts and shit. You guys don't know where this shit is going. Y'all don't know whether somebody could have Spencer Rattler as their number 1 quarterback on their board. You don't know. Yeah. There's always a guy Patrick Mahomes. When Patrick Mahomes was taken, there was not a lot of teams who had him as number 1 on their board.
At all.
People killed them for taking him over Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
People, man, what? You remember that?
Yep, I do.
Bruh. So y'all don't know where these teams have these people ranked. You don't know. You don't know.
Mr. Maker, I believe he saved us somewhere around $10-11 million this upcoming
11.5.
Well, but once the numbers came out, I believe it was somewhere closer to about $10.5 million that we saved.
And that's the most expensive gas station dick pill I've ever seen.
Ever.
My language is too early for that. I'm sorry.
No, hell no, it's not, bro. Fuck that. Salute to Mr. Maker, man, my guy, man. Appreciate you. And Intel, this is facts. 22.5 over 2 years. So we saved a lot of change moving on from Jimmy G. But yeah, man. So yeah, that we talked about that. Let me see. Let's get a few questions there before we get out of here, man.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Why not, man?
Can't wait for the combine. I can't wait either. I've already been taking notes. I've written down a bunch of names that I'm gonna be watching very, very closely at the combine. I'm excited about it, man. Definitely, yeah, man.
There's a kid from if you're there for the lineman, I need to take is a kid from Duke Blue Devils. He's a possible center. They got him an offensive tackle at Duke, but he projects to be a center at the National Football.
Potential first or second round guy.
Yeah. This is a kid, and Van Pran is a guy, man.
They also have a great defensive tackle out there at Duke too. That's underrated.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Wasted spitting facts. Talk that shit. Let me see. Farrell says, can't wait to link up with the boys at the combine. Salute, my brother. Make sure you hit us up when we get out there, man. Let me see. Salute to everybody. But yeah, I got a few sneaky names that I definitely kind of have a circle around in turn. I'm excited also, man. Have you Seen any tape on the kid out of Virginia, bro? Malik Washington, the wide receiver?
No, I haven't.
Dog. This kid, man, slot guy, 5'8", 194. Last year had 110 receptions, 1,426 yards receiving, and 9 touchdowns. This guy's a dog, bro. He's a dog. Like, that's a guy that I think that we already have Trey Tucker, so I'm not going to act like we need him, but that would be a great find, like a great add. If you want to kind of replicate that Miami kind of style of offense where they just add speed to it, I'm not against looking at him in those mid rounds. Malik Washington, bro. Dude is a dog, bro. Dog.
I haven't seen him, bro. Like the kid I'm talking about is Graham Barton.
Yes, bro. I like Graham Barton, bro.
Graham Barton, man. Yeah. Graham Barton. I got some kids I got written down. I'm just getting old, so I don't remember their name right off the bat. Yeah. Graham Barton. I've been looking at tape on him because I've been looking at the trenches, bro.
Hondo just dropped a piece on him as well.
Oh, I gotta. Yeah. Do we and Hondo even follow each other, man? It's nasty work out here, bro. We do work. Do we?
I think y'all do. Salute to Die Hard, man. One of the best Raiders talk on the net. Big facts. Salute to my guy, man. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Salute to Mr. Maker. So if we pay up to move up 3 first-round picks is too much, no shit. If that's the guy, look, if that's the guy, go get your guy. Like if AP is going to Tom Telesco and saying, this is our guy, he's going to win his Super Bowls. I don't think that's
bro. It's not a high enough price. Look, I've watched people move up to get Jared Goff,
bro. Bro, fuck all that. We watched the Niners move up to get Trey Lance.
Yeah. Hey, listen, take your swing. Yeah. I just don't look. The thing that I don't want, man. I don't want us to have a ham but no burger situation here. Look, I don't want to hear nothing about cap space. I don't want to hear nothing about if he had a QB. If I want all the questions answered. Yeah. You got the wide receiver question answered. Got the pass rusher question answered. Now you got to answer the quarterback question and help the line, and then you're off to the races. And now it's on you to make this team do what it does.
Yeah. Well, if we pass on the quarterback at 13, Jazir Newton out of Illinois, or you approach that the offensive line, I'm sticking to the trenches. Me personally, if we pass on the QB, I would move back to pick up additional draft capital, because then you can maybe pick up an additional second and go get and take Spencer Rattler with that extra pick. Yeah. But I would take a defensive tackle, or I'm gonna go guard, tackle, or a potential center.
Yeah, because and the thing is too, with Newton's a little undersized. I gotta watch more of him. You know what I'm saying? I would move down and take a sweat. Byron
Young.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I listen, man. I give me a lineman. I give me a starting left tackle.
Byron Murphy. My apologies.
Yeah, it's all good. But I'm just saying. Look, I would move down. You know what I'm saying? I would move down, bro, and I would pick up more, because then what I would do is it would be like, yo, the more picks we have, because I think a lot of the reason why we got the Max Crosbys and the Hunter Renfros of the world is because those were years where the Raiders had a lot of draft picks. Mm-hmm. And it's like the more picks you have, the more chances of one of them panning out.
Yeah,
that's really what the Patriots used to do.
Yeah,
the Patriots did. That's how they built their whole franchise. You know, so yeah, we don't get a quarterback. I'm 100% cool with just doing trenches.
Hey, Steve, I like that. Wasted. Go check out Tyrone Tracy Jr. Look his name up, write him down, check out his film. I'm telling you, bro.
Tyrone Tracy.
Salute to John, man. No one is talking about Danielle Hunter. No, you don't take a flyer on a guy that's going to cost that kind of money, especially when it's not a real need. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got Malcolm Kuntz one more year. I think they're going to really evaluate him this upcoming season to see, what we have with him, if he can replicate what he did last year. But there's no flyer on Danielle Hunter, y'all. Like, he literally led the league, I believe, in sacks like the year prior. And I think he was damn near up there this year.
Yeah, he was.
So there's no real flyer on a guy that's been that productive. You know what I mean? And he's been going back and forth with Minnesota for years already on trying to get a new deal. So there's no flyer on one of the better pass rushers in the NFL.
He's not coming in for the cheap.
Yeah.
He's not moving his family to come to another team on the cheap. He might as well stay there. Why would you sell your house? See, these are the things people don't think about. They're like, oh, because it's my team, so I think that he'll be receptive to taking a lower contract because we're on the upswing. Why don't you just stay with the team you fighting with? You ain't got to sell your house. That's another expense you ain't got to worry about. You might as well just stay there for the cheap.
Yeah, facts. Let me see. Salute to Sweet Jazz. We can't expect JD to be available at 3. We will have to get number 1 or 2 to be 100% sure. It will cost at least 3 ones, definitely. And we don't know. The thing is, people keep talking about Chicago being the wild card. Shit, the Commanders, bro. We don't know if it's Drake May. We don't know if it's Jaden Daniels. We don't know what they're going to do at the quarterback position. They're a wild card. I mean, New England is as well, but the Commanders, we have to watch. We don't know who they're leaning towards. I mean, I know they would love Caleb Williams. They may trade up to number 1. You know what I mean? And Chicago goes to number 2, and they pick their. I don't know, but number 2 is going to be that.
It's going to be a little spooky because you got a brain trust there of basketball minds.
Yeah.
You know, when you got Magic Johnson and Bob Myers in the room, now I don't know how much power they have over there, but they're there for a reason. Bob Myers didn't leave the Warriors and just come into the NFL for nothing.
Yeah.
So you got to, their voice is somewhere in that room.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
The fact that they say that Magic Johnson, which I think is bullshit, that he had something to do with Cliff Kingsbury coming and leaving the Raiders, that's absolute horse shit.
Well, AP talked about it. He laughed. Did you see that? He was kind of like, hey, man, Magic did his thing. So it seemed real.
Yeah.
AP alluded to it on Max on the rush, bro. He was like, Magic's still doing his thing, huh? On the court. It was like, he said something to that effect.
Yeah, look, bro. It was Matt. Hey, hey, Kingsbury. Listen, you come here to Washington and you have Magic running down the court. You have Worthy on the wing, Byron Scott on the wing. It's showtime. Like, get the F out of here. Get out of here with that shit, bro. That's all that Caleb Williams shit. I'm telling you, bro, I am convinced that they are trying to go all out to get Caleb Williams. They're going to give the world up, and the Chicago Bears are going to control this whole draft. Yeah. They're going to be able to really stock the cupboards if they have the right guy making it. Now, is Ryan Poles the guy to make who knows? Yeah. But I tell you what, the Chicago Bears are sitting pretty right now,
bro. They are, because the Commander, it fits what they, bro, he's from the crib. He's from there. It's just the hometown story. You know what I mean? Like the guy that has this next so-called Caleb Williams potential. He could be, I mean, not Caleb Williams, but Patrick Mahomes. Like, Commanders, man, they definitely are going to be the team to watch. Real talk.
They are. And if you look at it too, like we were talking about the last live, playing in Chicago is not for the weary.
Yeah. You talk about the wind and all that. Yeah.
Drake might be the guy that Chicago probably might want.
Yeah.
Because he has the kind of arm, the structure, the body, like he's a big, strong kid, man.
Yeah.
And Caleb Williams is after all, what is he, 6'1", 6'2"?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know how strong.
A lot of people are down on him because of his measurables.
Yeah, and Caleb Williams he doesn't throw the ball the hardest or anything. I'm just saying that shit matters in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's a reason why Chicago traded to bring in Jay Cutler, because he had a strong ass arm. You need a strong arm to play in Chicago in that win, man.
Salute to KC on the $2 donation as well. D tackle at 13. Got a chance to build that defense, man. That's facts. Salute to KC. Salute to Mr. once again on a $2 donation. Let's go trade up to number 1 to trade back to 2. I just think there's a lot of moving parts. I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of people starting to kind of play with that idea, wasted of moving up to 1 and then moving back.
Bro,
I mean, if you move up to 1,
what is this draft day? It's not Kevin Costner movie, bro.
If you move to 1,
out of here with that.
Move up to 1, go get your guy. Even if that's Jaden Daniels, just go get your guy. Don't even play around with that. Just get your guy.
Get the F out of here with that.
Salute to Glenn Jones. Is there a scenario where Jaden Daniels lets teams know he prefers to play for the Raiders /AP that can make him drop? No. Because like I said before on one show weeks back, we seen Eli do it and go a spot or 2 up, right? Like This is literally from potentially 1, 2, and 3 to 13. Do you understand what that looks like? That is mission impossible, trying to tell that many teams, especially that many QB needy teams. They're going to say, we don't give a fuck about what you want. You're going to come over here, accept these millions of dollars, and you're going to have a good time where you at. There's no way in hell you can talk.
Like, sit down and get your talking to like everyone else.
There's no way.
F you.
Now, Glenn, if we were at 5, yes. If we were at 6 potentially, yes. I can potentially see him telling a few teams, I don't want to be here. But we're at 13, bro. We're literally in the middle of the first round. That's nasty, nasty work. It's very, very tough. Yeah, Glenn says not to 13, maybe 5 to 9. If you're in that 5 range, potentially. But I don't think that many teams allow him to pass them by. The Atlanta Falcons will be salivating at 8. Hey, salivating.
If you're listening to me, if you can hear the sound of my voice, Jaden Daniels, go out there, get in a little trouble right before the draft. Yeah. Just between us, Jaden.
Hey, just sprinkle a little crap.
Yeah. Yo, listen. Hey, man. Hey, before you go take your combine drug test, man, hey, have an edible or 2. I mean, why not? You want to come to the Raiders? Be a real Raider. Yeah, just go out there, go stick up a liquor store or something.
Yeah, man. With a water gun. You know what I mean?
Something. Yeah, well, you don't go to jail. No stick just something, man.
Yeah, go to the combine and just
go steal some crab legs. Go full Jameis Winston. Go steal some crab legs.
Hey, another guy that I wouldn't be against bringing in to fight with that backup spot.
Jay Boo?
See, I'm gonna be real, bro.
I like Jay Boo, man. Jay Boo, my dog. I said I got killed for that last year.
I would bring Winston in to fight for that backup spot with AOC, bro. If we don't, bring in a rookie to take the number one spot.
Man, I would love for Jay Boo to eat a W. Eat some W's right here in Vegas, yo. Bring Jay Boo in, man.
Salute to Burton. Do we have to wait until March to trade picks? I think.
Yeah, you gotta wait. The new league year, right?
New league year. When does the new league year start exactly?
Isn't it March or something like that?
I gotta look that up. But Burton, you can't do it now. You definitely have to wait until a little later on. Definitely. But I gotta look that up. When does the new year actually start? What's the new year? Is it the 11th? March 11th?
I'm gonna look. NFL new league year.
Because tampering period, I believe, starts the 11th, right?
Yeah, hold on. Wait. NFL calendar, important dates. I'm looking it up right now.
The official free agency period opens up the 13th.
Teams may designate franchise players on February 20th. The 27th to the 24th is the scouting combine. The deadline for teams to designate franchise players. The new league year is March the 13th. 3 p.m.
There you have it. But that tampering period, I believe,
11th through the 13th.
The 11th through the 13th. Okay, so there you go. Salute to Steve also, man, for gifting a membership. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Salute to all the new members in the chat also, man. Appreciate you guys. Salute to GA, man. Jaden needs to catch a shoplifting charge in a Raiders jersey across the street from the combine.
Hey, crab leg wasted with some weed. He should have a gas mask on with some crab legs on his stomach. Just get caught out there like this.
GA, me and Stu are going to be out there, bro. We're going to do whatever we can to get Jaden to jump in the whip with us and just go bust a few moves.
Hey, listen, man, 3 hours with Stu will have you plummet into the second round.
Hey, matter of fact, 3 years with Stu, bro. You not making it into the NFL. 3 motherfucking hours? Ain't no goddamn way, bro. Let me see. Yeah, Keith, we just talked about Tyrone Tracy Jr. Definitely just talked about him. Let me see. Go to the podium at the combine and yo, fucker right in the pussy. Yeah.
God.
That's funny, bro. You feel good. Yes, Wasted is from Jersey, man. Brick City. Let me see. Walt says, make no mistake, the Raiders 2024 season may come down to Antonio Pierce's ability to bring in players. Facts. Definitely, man. Definitely. Salute to everybody here in the building. We still got like 1,200 people in the building, man, rocking with us. Tort. Cedric Van Pran in the second would be great. We've been talking about him since day one. I'm very high on the center out of Georgia. He could be a dog for us, and I think he will be available in that second round.
Yeah, he's one of them centers that you draft immediately. Like, remember years ago, like Alex Mack, guys like that comes right in the league and just start.
Yeah, just balls. And Q, this is what I was talking about. Dwayne Carter.
Man.
Yeah, the DT out of Duke. They have a great DT and a great offensive line in Barton.
Big Weezy. Not Lil Weezy, but Big Weezy.
Big Weezy. Salute to Joe, man. He says, if JD5 is gone, do we still love him? I love Drake May. I got killed for saying that he was my favorite quarterback in this draft for a long time. And I'm still very high. I'm actually shocked that all of the buzz has kind of died down from Drake May. I still know that he'll still be a potential top 3 pick, but all the buzz about him has kind of just been kind of quiet, man. I'm still high on Drake May, a guy that has a strong, like I like Drake May. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I do too, man. I'm a Drake May guy in the sense of I don't really want him here, but I'm a Drake May guy in the sense that I think that he's one of them kind of guys that are so physically talented. I could see somebody taking a flyer on him.
Yeah. Is it worth the extra 3rd round pick to let Jacobs walk?
No.
I think it's just GA, man. AP is high on his guys, and Josh is on that high. He's very high on that list of his guys. So I think that they're going to work out a deal. The franchise tag period just opened up, I believe. We're not going to franchise tag Josh Jacobs. They're both interested in getting a long-term deal done. I think that'll be done. I think we're going to be actually shocked to see Josh kind of sign a hometown kind of discount. I do believe he's going to take that kind of discount with some incentives. Like if he ends up leading the league in rushing again or Pro Bowl and All Pro, there's going to be incentives. But I do believe that Josh is going to do whatever it takes to stay in Vegas. It's going to be an interesting type deal. Like it could be, me personally, a $7-8 million deal. Like I'm talking about a year, per year, not completely. Salute to Darnell, man, my guy. Our coaching staff, this defense, we're just a QB away. Don't Raider this up. Salute to Darnell.
That's a fact, man. Shout out to Donnell Bashawn, man.
Let me see. Dr. Feelgood, we appreciate you, big dog. Thank you, man. Mackie says Pats ain't taking May at 3. They're another team that's very, very interested. Like, I don't know if they say we're gonna go take Russell Wilson, or I don't know. They may still kick the tire. I couldn't see them kicking the tires on their existing guys. There's no way Bailey Zappi or Mac Jones is the guy going into next year. But it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. I can't wait until this draft comes around, bro. I'm telling you now. Well, imagine if we're in Detroit. We're in Detroit, bro, at the draft. The Raiders have traded up from 13 to 3. Bro.
What?
Dog, bro, we are going to lose our shit.
The Raiders are number 3. Take Bo Nix. What the fuck? We'd be like, God damn it, we'd be mad as hell.
Bro, that shit is funny, bro.
Fucking meltdown, bro.
Oh my God. It'd be a second meme to that Cleveland Furrow.
I know, it'd be like,
who?
Like,
what the fuck? Facts. GA says draft picks are not guaranteed. Ask Carolina about last year. This is facts. Let me see. She said we're rioting. That would be a Gruden thing to do, man.
Yeah, but you know what? That'll be a Tom Telesco thing. That'll be on him, bro. We'd be mad. Oh my God, bro.
Q says imagine if it was JJ McCarthy. If you traded
JJ McCarthy to the Raiders
at 3.
Whew.
Nasty work. Salute to everybody here in the building, man. Make sure you guys wipe them feet, meaning hit them thumbs up, pay your bar tabs, which means hit them thumbs up, and also hit that subscribe button on both channels. We're actually planning on a live tonight, you guys. We're waiting for confirmation. So stay tuned. We may be live once again tonight with a active player. Let's just say that. We're waiting on a response. He actually hit us up and said he would love to do it on Monday. So we're waiting to see where this plays out. But stay tuned. We may be active once again tonight with a player that he's very outspoken. And he will give you, he's going to be a very, very fun guest to have on the show. Let me just say that. He's a free agent right now as well. So I think he's going to be able to talk his shit a little bit more. You know what I mean? There's a few teams I'm hearing that's interested in him as well, Wasted. We're going to ask him about that. But real quick on the way out, salute to Big Al. Wasted definitely looks like that meme got, oh, shit.
They say I look like everybody. That's like my complexion that wears a hat.
Yo.
Sick of this shit, yo.
Other than that, y'all, hey, Waste, you got anything to say on the way out, big bro?
Nah, man. Shout out to everybody in chat, man. Thank y'all for pulling up. Shout out to all of the people in the Get Off My Lawn gang and in the chat, man. That's about it, bro.
As always, man, you know, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. We're working on a bunch of shit behind the scenes. We're trying to make sure that this off season is one for the record books, you guys. So trust me, when we're not live, when we're not uploading videos, we're always working around the clock to keep you guys informed and to keep you guys entertained. So stay tuned. We have a lot going on, man. As always, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We outro, man. One.
That's what I'm talking about.